Welcome to A Word of Hope. I'm Brother Edward, coming to you from Madison, Wisconsin, in this 28th week of Ordinary Time, October the 19th. Today, the Church has a memorial of the North American martyrs who lived in the 1600s and were missionaries in what is today Eastern Canada and New York State. So their missionary endeavor ended in a tragic death, but during their life, they had learned the languages of the tribal peoples. They had evangelized thousands of Native Americans and brought them to the faith in Jesus Christ. And even some of those people who are not named in the memorial were martyred as well. It's kind of appropriate in a way that the reading today's gospel focuses in on the fact that Jesus is addressing the martyrs of the ancient Israel, the prophets, who were killed by the people who resented their message as a messenger from God to repentance. Sometimes we see that within individuals and in groups, when they are, if you will, are confronted with their wrongdoing, their sin, they become angry and lash out at the messenger so often. And this is the story of Israel. And in some way, you could say this is the continuing story of missionaries in the world, whether they be in another continent or in a foreign land or whatever, or in our own families sometimes when we call our brothers and sisters to live a more authentic Christian life, we can get sometimes a very negative reaction from them. And looking at the prophets and looking at these missionary saints that we see who gave their lives for the sake of the gospel, we see a patience with them. They don't react to the anger and the violence that is perpetrated upon them, but rather they respond with an inner peace and a confidence that God's grace is working through these tragic events, that God has a greater story of that to tell us. So when we see these events happening in our own personal lives or in the lives of those who have gone before us in history, let us take heart, because God is working even through these horrible events to bring about the good news that his Son came into the world to give us.